Hey Global Village, what's up? Okay, today I want to talk about reasons why the US may or may not decide to attack Iran. Now, I think the primary reasons why they may do it is the simple fact that they have an unholy alliance with Israel. But I think it is more than just an alliance. Speaking specifically to Trump, it is at least my suspicion that Israel has something on him, probably more than one thing. And so there's a level of, I suspect, coercion there, and that in some sense Trump has been compromised. It could be in relationship to the Epstein files. It could be something else, but something is definitely not right in terms of how Trump has been engaging with Israel, because he seems to have been vastly more accommodating than even Joe Biden was. And Joe Biden is a hardcore Zionist in a way that Trump most definitely is not. I think we need to be clear about motivations here. You can find historical records and videos of Biden talking about his fervent support for Israel and Zionism in general, and how if there wasn't an Israel, America would need to create one. So, his motivations, I think, were somewhat more obvious. With Trump, however, I think before he went into power, I was even of the suspicion that Benjamin Netanyahu may do something that would irritate his ego, such that he would even potentially turn against Israel. And clearly that has never happened. And I think the primary reason for that is they have him by the balls. And I don't exactly know in what capacity, and it is speculation, but that's what I think. So one of the reasons why the US may indeed attack Iran is because Israel has been burning for a fight with Iran for decades. I mean, there are quite comical videos of Benjamin Netanyahu talking about how Iran were about to produce a nuclear weapon within the next few months, weeks, or even days. And he's been doing that year on year, holding up his silly little placards with comical drawings of bombs. And it's absurd, but nonetheless, he's just been beating that same drum over and over. Israel want a fight with Iran because they, I think, see Iran as really the main thorn in their side in terms of really being able to properly dominate through the Middle East. Because the reality is, most of the other Gulf nations and Arab nations are, absolute monarchies that are already bought and paid for by the US empire. But Iran is kind of very much the odd one out, at least in as much as it represents a credible threat to Israel. However, what are the reasons why they may not attack? And it appears, and just as I said that, there was a minor earthquake, which always makes me feel a little nervous. But anyway, I think one of the main reasons why they won't is that it appears there are some credible intelligence reports that China has been supplying Iran with state-of-the-art defense systems. And for example, it looks like Israel are now genuinely very nervous about sending any of their own F-35s out into Iranian airspace because they have a genuine concern they may be shot down. And this is because Iran now actually has the ability to take out these state-of-the-art aircraft. So basically what I think is there are at least some people that are warning Trump that launching a military campaign against Iran could be catastrophic for that whole region. And indeed, it could be catastrophic for Israel in a way that Israel seems to be too reckless to fully acknowledge. I mean, I just think Israel wants to see America turn its full military might against Iran and just end this decades-long conflict that they have had with them for once and for all. But it's one of those things where be careful what you wish for, because I think it could spell disaster for Israel. But, time will see. So at the end of the day, is this going to escalate? And I think it could go either way. I think that China is very invested in the idea that this conflict doesn't happen. And I think they have decided to, pull out all the stops here in terms of really arming up Iran such that they are a serious, incredible threat as a means to deter an escalation into a hot war. Now, whether that's enough to actually deter Trump is very hard to say. And as a counterbalance, I just don't know how powerful Israel's leverage over Trump is. But my suspicion is it could be considerable. So we have to be watching this very nervously, because if it does kick off, this is going to be bad in ways that I think we probably aren't able to quite imagine. It could pull in the major powers such as China and Russia into the conflict, in which case it could quickly escalate into legitimately a third world war. Now that doesn't instantly mean it's going to go nuclear, but it will be disastrous for the entire planet. Socially, culturally, and of course economically, we will all suffer. So we just don't need this kicking off. Anyway, I just want to quickly mention here that this wasn't the video I was going to make. I was going to make a video about my upcoming writing project as it relates to YouTube, because I am intending to start uploading all of my my chapters one at a time related to my science fiction novel called Circadian Cycle. And this is quite exciting to me. The book was finished well over a year ago. I did create a full-blown audiobook version of it, but I was very unhappy with the quality of the audio, because when I was using 11 Labs originally, I picked like the bog standard narrator, and it just sounds really primitive by today's standards. And so I am redoing the whole narrator part of the book using an AI version of my own voice. And I don't think it particularly sounds like me, but it is my voice. So I feel very justified in using it. And I think it is passable. I hope that it doesn't interfere with the enjoyment of the book. But I am intending to create another video specifically about that, to give the whole project proper and full context. So I'm not going to do it here. Anyway, Bendy out, and I hope you're all doing well in these troubled times.